So once again, another week of BBPN Season 10 is locked away there, and as we can see, the struggle is real for some firms still out there. It's coming into an interesting evolution that there is still, in some cases, literally a four-way fight for one position. And it's all going to come down to this last game week coming up here. So let's go and review things, give you a bit of insight, a bit of advice, and maybe a few prayers. So let's start things off with the Grift Division of all things here, because the Grift Division, as it seems to be sorting out here, if you had predicted how this division was going to sort out, there was a good chance you would have been right off the reservation and completely into the bleachers. Let's take a look here and review the teams here. Well, the teams that has now become the terrifying bunch of cunts in this team here. Yep, wankers, crap, the trolls just keep on going. TV 1600. 180k, and as everyone knows by their history, they are still an unbeaten team. Oh, they've got plenty of ties, but no one's ever actually beaten them. So this is becoming an ongoing and growing problem. 3 rerolls, 9 fact factor, 1 apothecary, of course. You sense a theme on this fucking team. No, you really honestly sense a fucking theme here. This is the biggest player you've got to worry about, because he's considered one of the most highly skilled players in the second round. Strength 4, Blodge, for Christ's sake. How'd you let this survive so long? Well, it's carrying the team, but the problem is now the rest of the team is starting to lift themselves up. As you can see here, money blow, money blow, money blow, block on both Bull Centaurs. Now has the dreaded kick. Insult to fucking injury. You got a problem, lads, because if this team gets to the next round, there's all kinds of pain in everyone's future. Meanwhile, the Sand Destroyers, they were picked as actually a pretty decent favour. Instead, well, they're competitive, they certainly are, but they've stumbled, and we'll definitely have to talk about that, you know? So let's go take a look here. Decent development on the Tomb Guardians, and they're doing well. Maybe they're a little slow, but, you know, they're mummies, basically. Of course they're fucking slow. And meanwhile, the rest of the firm there, it's still excellent development. And he's got 11, 3 team rerolls, the 7 fan factor here. What's gone wrong with the team? We might have to discuss that a little bit there. And then, of course, the other chore firm, the other bunch of cunts, they've had it go back-ass backwards, unfortunately. Some of us actually said once they played their fellow brother Chorfs, well, they learnt who's your fucking daddy. Let's go and take a look at the firm. As you can see, developed very differently here. Only the 1 mighty blow, a movement increase of all things, and 2 guards. He does have the level up there on the Bull Centaur, long fucking overdue, because he's got the 1 broken ass one, and he has to make do with it. Meanwhile, fantastic development on the Hobgoblins, don't get me wrong, but 3 reroll, 6 fan factor. But where you are in the division, you are on the cusp. You are really on the cusp. You are in a must-win situation for your next game. Let's take a look at the Dwarves. Exactly the same speech gets given to them there, because they were another team. You'd think they're in a division where they should do really, really well. It's a good way to describe this poor firm. Let's take a look at these Dwarves here. It's a core 11. He refuses to change the numbers. He just refuses. He does have some very talented players up and down. You can see here, of course, the Trail Slayers are very underdeveloped, but that's another story in there. Again, sticking with 1 runner will not change. 3 rerolls of Apothecary, only a 5 fan factor, and yes, as you can see, there's no enhancement there. So, what's been going wrong? Everyone's going to be asking that question. It's going to come down to the next game. Are they a flash in the pan, or are they gone? And now let's go and take a look at the team that felt mismatched in this division, but definitely can give what they got. But something's definitely gone off there, unfortunately there. The poor lads, their coach, he's having a bit of a tussle. And that's understandable, lads. A heart goes out to you there. Because take a look at this firm. This firm did show up, meant business, never shunned away from a fight. He's even got 2 more level ups all ready to go and giddy on there, but he's not. His last game, it's probably not there because of who they're going to bang into suddenly. 3 team rerolls Apothecary, only the 3 fan factor here. It seems like their run is done. I'm sorry, lad. We loved seeing you. It just wasn't going to be a season, it felt like. And then, of course, the person we most highly endorsed here, who honestly thought coming in the division, this would be a fucking disaster. Instead, it's been a renaissance for them here. The Dark Elves, Wealthy Berry Ferry, and Daffo, the Miracle Worker. And let's take a look at this firm. As mentioned before, the Wood Elf slaves are all dead, except for one lowly kicker. And meanwhile, the line bitches, well, they're starting to get hurt too. So here we go again. It's the same repeat and rinse all over again. He's got one busted runner, but that's fine. He's already got the second one being trained up, but this one's still too fucking good, so don't fire him. Meanwhile, the Witch Elves, they've got the commander skills. One's got the Blodger, one's got the Wrestle. There you go. Absolutely delightful. The Blitzers that just go from skill to skill to skill to skill here. Nice, level balance, consistency of his team there. If one drops, the other one steps into the place here. 3 rerolls Apothecary, 8 fan factor, and the talent of this coach shows why that fan factor is actually there. So let's go and take a look what happened in the schedule so you can actually see what happened in match week 4. Well, as you can see, Wealthy Berry Ferry pulled off a miracle upset. At least that's what some are saying. They think they played a good, steady fucking game there. Took advantage of the Bill Bexley speed. 1-0 versus the Dwarves, and this has put the Dwarves in the name of elimination. They're in real trouble. They were counting on that being a surefire win. It went the other way. Meanwhile, taking a look over here, yep, they're digging themselves out, but both teams are certainly in danger here, considering what the last games are. And meanwhile, the last one, well, at least there's not dead Tomb Guardians is the only bright side out of it, considering it has been punishing any team facing this bunch of cunts. They seem to have the record for, maybe they're not the most casualties in the league, but they've got the most foul casualties, and that's been absolutely despicable. Let's take a look at the leaderboard here, and as you can see, those cunts are on top, believe it or not here. And they're right above the Dark Elves of all things. If it comes down to crazy tiebreakers, believe it or not, the cunts are better than the Dark Elves. This is a big fucking surprise. They don't fucking belong here, but there they are, number 1. And the Dark Elves right behind them to their own personal surprise. But again, credit to the talent of the coach. You've got to believe, and he has. But hallelujah. The Dwarves. Yes, stumbled. You honestly stumbled in that game there. You gotta find a way to find your britches and get a surefire win. You need the fate in your own hands. And I hate to say it, the same instruction applies to the other 3 teams. They literally are all, your fate is in your hands now. Because unless they win, it is likelihood that in the other divisions, when it comes to how the points all figure out for who actually qualifies to the next round, how it works this year, yeah, this is why there's a 4-way tie for the last position. 4 ways. I could go any given Sunday. Let's take a look here quickly at the schedule here, and you will see, here's the nightmare. The Dark Elves have got the other short team. They're busted, they're broken, but their fate is in their hands. They might be hungry, and this could be the game that totally beats out. Now, the Dark Elves have nothing to prove other than they belonged here and they owned this division. So, they at least minimum want to go out with a tie. But the Chorfs, they want an 100% win to get up in the numbers. Meanwhile, Sand Destroyers versus the Dwarves, both teams must win. I expect that to be a ferocious battle between those 2 firms. And then the last one there, lad, you hated them the first time, and again, your last game is a game that's against the same cunts. Is the result going to be any different? I'm going to give you a prediction. No, it's going to be pain. Lots and lots of pain. So, you know how that's going to work out, unfortunately. So, that is it there for the Grift division summed up there. What a surprise how this has actually been turning out there. You're going to get at least one of the biggest top teams coming out of there, and a surprise team coming out near the top as well. And then it's any given fucking Sunday for the other 4. Maybe that's a measure of the quality of the division, though. All 4 are still fucking in it, are the last of them there. Right, let's go take a look at the other lad, shall we? Alright, now let's go and talk about Hooligan Division now, shall we? Because Hooligan Division, wow, is this become a crazy one here? It's become a decide your fate. Now remember, only 1 fucking firm advances out of Hooligan Division. We're back to the good old-fashioned rules. 1 firm comes out of this here. So they are going at it like tooth and nails, clawing for that last spot here. Let's go and take a look at the team here that everyone is thinking they just might get it. They did everything they could to surge back. The Bone Street crew, Vought, you did a miracle with this firm. Because we have seen Khemri, when they get into the Ugin division, just die. This was different. You surged these bastards right back into the dunny. And it's beautiful to see these. Got an upgrade, doing a Tomb Guardian. 2 wonderfully developed Mighty Blow with Bright Tackle there. You can see what his strategy is, and it's working. Of course, the Blitzer has an extra skill up there, has the Tackle, so we'll see what he actually does there. The one with Blodge, he's amazing to see it work there. And then the extremely talented 2, Throw Rolls, Incredible Things, has the mandatory kicker. That's the genius behind this coach. 10 Fag Factor, he has loyal supporters going, bravo, 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 well done, bravo! You know, it's just great to see. Is this season? Are we about to see Khemri break out the Hill division? Well, hold that thought, lads, hold that thought. Alright. This, I hate to say, is the Kingmaker. No, I'm going to have to explain that to you. This is the fucking Kingmaker team. It's the fucking Avlings. Remember, this is the team that fucked several teams up over the course of the season. Let's take a look at this roster of what is really a dummy thick team here. The 2 trees, the coach is honest, he's disappointed. They just did not perform this season. Now, you didn't have to replace them, so that's great, but the rest of the junk in the trunk, he never got to a full roster. He never got up to what he really needed, which was a padded roster. He never got there. He's got busted out, broken players. They keep dying. They keep getting permanents. It's just been all over the place there. 7 Fan Factor, Apothecary, 3 rerolls. But he's still going to be the Kingmaker. And like I said, I will get to that. Now, let's take a look here at the Big Trouble Little Gargos. The Ogres that surprised and delighted in their last games here. Trying so fucking hard to make it all the way. And you saw that broadcast. By that much. By that fucking much. They got that fucking close. They really did there. And look at how they paid getting there. They really did. 5 Ogres, lots of... He's got all punishment skills, except he's got the strong arm, so he's got an idea there. And the poor Nobles just took it like champs. And you can see they're still taking it. They're niggles, broken armor, broken knees. It's been a long road, lad, but God, did you ever entertain in those last 2 games? Those last 2 games were worth the price of admission. Yorick would be proud of you. You sold yourself dearly, lad. You really did. Now, let's go and take a look here at the... And I had this pointed out to me there. The far better developed Nurgle firm. It really is the far better developed Nurgle firm of the 2. Well, it's because you don't die like the other one does. And he's got a whole rant about that. And I'll get to him when I get to his division there. Well, he's got a Rodder busted. Who cares? It's a Rodder. That's what happens to him there. The base has got Bright Tackle. And you can see, yeah, he's just doing his business. He's doing a great job. He really honestly is. So no problems there. He's got the wonderfully developing pest scores. He's got the incredible Nurgle Warrior crew. This is the envy of the other Nurgle team. It is the best developed Warrior crew we've seen in a long time here, especially for a Nurgle firm. But 2 Fan Factor, 2 team rerolls, it shows you how your season is. Look, lad, you've got team development down to a nutshell here. Now it's just, you know what? Observe your games. Take on honest observation there. You are getting better. We can see it. You're getting better. Remember, you're in a division of champions here. So, you know, world champions at that. So, take a bow there. You got this far. You got to Hilligan at least. You know, we've had some of the best, and even a winner get to Hilligan. Speaking of, the good old boys. Oh, what a surprise they are. Oh, wow there. Let's take a look at this firm here of cheddar lovers, because the gutter runners have gotten back into town and back to business. He's already had to replace one. Well, that's fine. This happens all the time with rats there. But the rest of the team, light development. So that does give him a low TV there. But 4 rerolls, Apothecary, 3 Fan Factor. However, he's become the other team that you have to look out for. We're definitely going to go talking about that there. And then, of course, who gives a fuck? It's Chorfs, you know, and remember, they're the spoiler team. Alright, let's take a look here at the schedule. Ignore that there, because we'll definitely mention that. The Halflings got their free win finally. Late, but they finally got a win for the season. They're out of it though, but as I said, we'll look into it. They are indeed the Kingmakers. Big Trouble Little Knobs. That was a heartbreaking game. That was the game. Admit the Khemri took their fate back in their hands here and now have to hang on because look out, lads. The good old boys Skaven are surging back. Let's take a look at the leaderboard here and you can see for the moment, because of the schedule and how it works here, the Bone Street crew are at the moment #1. They've done everything they can here, and now it becomes the most nervous moment for any coach. He has to watch the out-of-town scoreboard. He has no fucking choice. It is the nightmare of any supporter. I will tell you that personally. When you're having to watch an out-of-town scoreboard to see, do you have a fucking chance? Because the Skaven are right behind you, lad, and they have a game coming up. And it's a big one there. If they tie it, we go to tiebreakers, and that's being debated how fucking close it is between these two firms. The Ogres, you tried, lad. Problem is, that loss, fights out. You're a free-for-all. You can do whatever the fuck you want your last game. You can do whatever the fuck you want here. Astrolabe, because you're your last opponent, you are the Kingmaker. You get to see how you want to play that. And, of course, here, the Green Griffins. Look, you did develop an excellent Nurgle team, and as I've said before, and I'll say it again, it does take learning. Nurgle's a very difficult team. Ask the other Nurgle coach how difficult that team is some days. Just take a look at the schedule so you understand what's going on in Week 5. See, there's the free win. So that's it for Khemri. The #1 for now. And this is where they watch the out-of-town scoreboard to say how fucked they might be here. Because, yep, the Halflings and the Skaven are the final matchup there. The Skaven win it. They're taking home the silverware for the Hooligan Division, and they qualify for the playoffs. They get the one fucking spot. So, Dummy Thick, this is all on you. If you get a tie, is it a high-scoring tie? Is it a high-casualty tie? See how tricky this fucking game is. This is a huge Kingmaker. Now, if the Halflings actually fucking win this one, the Khemri go and walk away. So, you can see why he has had to pay for anything this week. You know, he's definitely getting the strangest gold coins showing up there in his pantry to spend for the all-you-can-eat buffet. There, it's a game that just doesn't fucking matter. Have at it, lads, there. But now, bravo, I'm so proud of you lot. You got all the way through the season. Here you are. Just play it out and have a great time. It's the best endorsement I can give there because you made it. I'm really proud of you. I salute you. You made it all the way to Hooligan Division. There are many teams that never get to boast even getting to this point. And Hooligan Division is a tough division. As you can see, it's a very tough division there. Woohoo! Alright, let's go see who's up next, shall we? Oh, Jordell Division. You are a delight to have been watching how this has been developing here because, again, this is not one of those divisions where you think it's a runaway. Well, it is kind of a runaway, and you'll very quickly realize the reason why here. Let's start it off here with the Glory Team. Yeah, it is indeed the Glory Hogs, and they're looking for the Glory Howl. Luke Quad 4, he's got the season he has dreamed of for fucking years. He's finally got it. He's found the firm. The Pro Owls are on their way. Now you can see, again, there's a hole in the team, but it's not slowing him down. It's never going to slow him down here. The Blitzers, still doing miracle work there. Of course, the 2AG5. Remember, he got that really fucking early. And that's why he's actually got two other players here who are right up there as #1. If I recall right, I think that is the #1 player in the entire league right now. At 46 skill points there, he's got 42, and the only person close to him, if you can believe it, is a fucking Hobgoblin. Blasphemy, I know, but it is what it is there. Strong arm there on the thrower. He's got a well-developed lineman there. He got the block there, so it's not even a wasted double there. Bravo, absolutely bravo. It's a truly enticing there He's got the catcher now. You can see what he was trying to do here. He was trying to make even a bigger catcher brigade. And he's already now working on the third one. And you can see he's already got the start. He's got the dodge on him there. Perfect skill for him. He's pro elves. Absolutely. And now he rolled a double on the kicker. So he takes guard. So now he's actually functioning, and useful on the field there. Ooh, that's top line thinking there, right there. And he's got a couple of extra linemen because he's realizing, odd as it is to say, because of the nature of how this is going, and he survived well in this division, much to his own shock. He took some hurt, but then he didn't take hurt other games. So the end result is he started buying reserves. And now this is actually rather cunning of him. I salute that. It is indelitable what he can do with this thing here. 3 rerolls, Apothecary, 8 fan factor. It's just amazing. It really is, especially when you start going over the history and take a look at that record. 10 wins and a draw. 1. One of the very few unbeaten teams in the entire fucking league. That was bloody impressive there. Is he going to hold that? Well, we will indeed see. Alright, let's go and take a look here. Cadet Tank, Warp Sheet Getters. You got here, lad, but as you yourself said, this just was not your second round. It's been a collapse the whole way, isn't it, lad? There now it's just pride how you're playing this one out here. He's got the 2 claws, mighty blow. He's got the blodge here on the other storm vermin here. The throwers, well, you can see they're having problems. The goblins have been an utter fucking disaster. And at least Big Ant's finally got a second skill. Maybe it's maybe too little too late, but he did finally get the second skill. But you can see 3 fan factor, no Apothecary, 1 team reroll there. The gamble was made, as we talked about it. He had the Knuffles altar. The gamble just didn't work. Mind you, it's not the coach, it's the star players, alright? They just don't want to play for you there, lad. I don't know what it is you did to piss in their pool, but that's just the way it is. It reminds me of Goat Boy when he has a bad day, isn't it? Alright, now let's go and take a look at the Lizards, the luggage that have... You never know what team's going to show up. You really don't fucking know. It's how bizarre this team is. Let's go and quickly review in there with the 3 rerolls. Apothecary, 5 fan factor here. You've got the Saurus crew you need. You've got a fantastic Saurus crew. So how is this going wrong? And yet, the problem is, it's not just me asking the question. The coach is asking this question. Now, he'd love to know what the fuck's going wrong too. So I'm with you, lad, on that one. I'm really fucking with you. It's like this firm, ever since the embarrassment you had, and it's because he played a hell of a game with those halflings, they've never quite gotten their strut going. And I'm not holding that against the coach, because again, it's just, you're trying to articulate what's gone wrong, and like I said, he's been, you can see in his games, he's trying to figure out what's gone wrong, he's adjusting play styles, but something's still just not working, and he can't get his finger on it. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the last game there, because they're technically not out of it. He has to seize his destiny, and that's been normally I would say, look, I believe in you, okay? I honestly believe in you. You could do it. But do you believe in yourself? That's going to be the question you're going to be asking yourself on Games Day. Because speaking of believes in himself here, well, he has shown the business, hasn't he? Ice Blade 2000, Dead Pirate, Roll No Skull here. This necro firm has been on a recruitment drive all fucking season, if you know what I mean. He's even fired zombies. No, I'm serious. He has recruited so many zombies this season. He hasn't had to hire them, except for the starting one. Everyone else willingly was recruited and joined his team. Not that they had a very surprised expression on their face. It's the same expression when they play. So... It's been a fun team to watch here how he plays this year. He's got the good Wolfie boys. They're on the breach of more development there, so he's fine. He's absolutely fine. We'll see how he does in his last game here. And of course he's got, alright, here's your problem. Your Flesh Golem, you gotta get the other one up quick. You're gonna need him to at least have a minimum block, alright? You understand what I mean here? The Whites, he's gone with the guard option. Don't worry, it works for him. It's absolutely good to see, because look what he keeps rolling for the zombies. More fucking guard. So why not? The strategy makes sense. A very different style. It's a rugged team, is what he's built with his Necros. They're a rugged team that suddenly has Bill Bexley speed breaking out of the back here. Because look at this movement increase. And most fucking ain't. He's keeping up with the poor doggy boys. And he's got the kick. He's got one dirty player, which it kind of comes in useful. It's nice to know. 3 rerolls, 8 fan factor. And of course, you go take it in the history and look at the statistics. It's not perfect, but he has been impressive. And that's why he's one of the big threat teams in there. And of course, hammer time. Boy, Bretonians are harder than they fucking look, aren't they? And he's learned that all fucking season. He has been learning that all fucking season. Let's take a look what's left of this firm. Again, this has been a litany every broadcast, it seems like, hasn't it? Well, he must be getting sick of this because he knows what's going on. Gee, you notice the hull that's appeared again. Yep, another dead Blitzer, another dead Noble, bereft of life. He rests in peace. He's pushing up the fucking daisies. He's got to level up on a peasant. Yay. At this point here, either you buy kick or you buy dirty player. Pick one. Alright, those are the only 2 options unless you roll something weird. And even then, if you roll something weird, you still buy one of those 2 skills. Just pick one. I mean, with a blocker here who's got the wrestle and the block, well, you've got options. See what your skill roll is. You might have to unlock something out of your pants here because guess what you're spending your money on? You got it. Replacing the fucking Blitzer again. Replace the fucking Blitzer again. It's a song he's getting sick of, isn't he? 2 rerolls. He'd love to buy another one. Don't get me wrong. I know what he wants to do, but none of you bastards are letting him do it, are you? You keep killing his fucking nobles. And Apothecary the fan factor. Me, the 2 dirty peasants have been nigh fucking invulnerable the entire second half. They've been fantastic. And now here's where we get to have the fun talk. I knew this was coming. He knew this talking. The Sovereign, the Nurgle, who you were the chosen one of this division. You know, people talk about you like in the same word as panda. I'm sorry. But you were the chosen one of this division. Everyone thought you were going to utterly dominate this division. But here's the explanation. Very simple. His fucking players keep breaking and dying. He has lost so many warriors. This is almost universally a replacement. Again, it's like all dead, all replaced. And he's going back to work again. Meanwhile, the Pestigors, same explanation. He has had some fantastic 2, 3 skilled Pestigors busted, broke, or dead. And he's had to replace them again. So this is a new roster. This is why he's got the one sensational rodder, and of course he's bought Leader just to somehow force his TV down on a rodder. He's not got any fucking choice. Meanwhile, he had many other broken rodders. They're all permanently dead at this point here. No surprise, 2 team rerolls, the 5 fan factor. He was the first to admit this team went off the rails. It's only in the last game they started doing things right, but as you'll see here, as I will go point out by the schedule here, look who he ran into. He ran into the Pro Elves, and the Pro Elves found a way to win 2-1. Disturbing Presence does shit fuck all when you're AG5, as he discovered time and time again, especially when it comes down to picking up the ball. It's unfortunate, but there it is. So yeah, that was a bit of a pisser, that game. It was really a bit of a pisser. He tried, lads. He fucking tried. Now he's got himself an uphill fight there. Meanwhile, fan requests, you pulled off a miracle you desperately needed, but gods did it ever fucking cost you 2-1? But as you saw, dead Blitzer, sir. There's another dead Noble on the lawn. And there we go. Dead Pirate Roll now. Skulls seizing their destiny in their hands. They got a good solid win and have left the Lizards in critical situation here. Let's take a look at the leaderboard so you can understand how bad this really is here. No doubt here, he's winning the division. The question is he going to absolutely sweep the division? We will find out, and we will talk about that, considering who his opponent is. The Necromantic Firm here. You did a great job on that win. You absolutely did. Can you get another one? Because, like I said, you're trying to cruise into a much better staging position here going into the playoffs. You're comfortable, you're doing all right here, but you have been proven you can lose occasionally. Depends on who you run into. Mind you, everyone's looking at who you ran into, and no one's disagreeing. Because look at that, he's been dominating everybody here. Because you see in the bottom, the great experiment that just doesn't work. So, but is he a gimme win? He's got pride. Humble pride. Humble pride, that's a word. Yeah, okay, it is. Anyway. We don't know what happened to you, lad. Like we said, you were the chosen one, and there you are, now fate in your hands. You are in a must-win situation, and it looks like it's probably not going to happen, but we will see. If you get enough, is it enough to crawl back in? Only God and your cocaine dealer know. Anyway, over here, the Goes odds, same explanation. Fate's on your hands that next game. You must win if you want any prayer. Bretonians, you're in an awkward situation. You can maybe tie, but quite frankly, you need to win too. So, that's it summed up in a nutshell. You have 3 must-win teams and 2 who really don't give a damn right now, but they wouldn't mind making it nice and comfortable here because, well, now they're kingmakers, but in a different way. It's more who they're making the jester, if you know what I mean. Now, let's take a look here. Well, looky here. There it is. A big critical game between both players. Yep. Sovereign, Nurgle, and the Lizards. Must-win game, and they run into each other. Bravo, lads. Bravo. That is going to be a much-win game there, because Sovereign's either going to prove that they're ready for business and are ready for the greatest comeback in Nuffle history in the BBPN, or the Luggage finally prove they mean business. Warp Cheese Getters. Well, you run into Dead Pirate Roll No Skulls. It's a pride game. It's 100% a pride game. Do what you can't. Fen requests. Alright, guess who you drew your last game? Guess what this comes down to here? You need to tie. You need to prove the measured quality of you, of your lads, and get a tie. You need to show a crack in the fucking armor, because if you don't, he's just going to clean up and be in Power City there, and his first game is going to be Hooligan Division. You fucking know it. You absolutely bloody know it. Hell of a thing, isn't it, lads? Hell of a thing. Alright, we got one last one to wrap it up. Alright, Morg Division. Boy, is there a lot to say about this one here. We'll try and get through it here. Be fair, balanced, honest. Because that's what you need from me here, lads. Because you need someone to encourage you. And trust me, I'll do my best here to cheer every one of you magnificent buggers on there. Because you're all wonderful. No, seriously, you really are. You know, let's go and take a look at what Rat Ogre's been doing with the cemetery gates here. Yep, here it is. They scooting undead. Let's call it what it is. God, undead are absolutely devastating, aren't they? Let's take a look at this firm here. No fear with the busted ass one. He's level 4. He's still going on here. And the rest of the ghoul friends are doing a great job. The white's just trying to keep up there. He's bought Frenzy with a white of all things. Frenzy. Meanwhile, he's got God on one of the zombies there that he's also recruited. Oh, yeah. Someone else has been on a recruitment drive, haven't they there? Dirty play, of course. Grab on the mummy to go with the God. Don't worry, in his team, it's fucking brilliant. He grabs the player and then he goes and takes care of the problem there. 3 rerolls, 6 fan factor, 2 coaches, assistants of all things, cheerleaders. Because take a look at these statistics. You got it, Pontiac. There's team number 3 on the unbeaten list there. A draw. He's right up there with the good old Luke Quad 4 and those pro elves. But when it comes to numbers, though, who is the number 1 team? Ah, there's going to be some pride in the next game, isn't there? Because it's between those two, and they both want to be number 1 because they both want the first crack at Hooligan Division. Alright, Sister of the Leaf, what happened to you? Now, he's got a list, alright. However, are they out? No, but they're certainly fucking looking like it, aren't they there? Let's take a look at the Blitzer roster. Well, there's only going to be 2 fucking Blitzers in the last game. Oh, bravo, that's going to be brutal. The catchers, well, one's out for a game too, so she's not taking part either. Meanwhile, the designated thrower he's got there, well, she's doing a job. She might be the only one who's doing a job. Meanwhile, the rest of the line women, well, they're doing a fantastic job, but you can see cripples all the way. So, yes, count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you heard that right. He's got 8 women going into his last game. That's it. He's only got 8. He's going to have to recruit all loners. 3 rerolls, Apothecary, 5 fan factor here. But we'll talk about that, because believe it or not, if he wins, he's got a fucking shot at getting in. He'd still, because his first round record was so excellent. It's the second round he's just taking the piss, unfortunately. There, the girls all want to go shopping. Meanwhile, let's take a look straight from the underworld here. The surprise firm that never fucking quits. And yep, they're still in it. They're still fucking in it here. tentacles to go along with the claw and the troll. It's a great combination there. It really is, because he likes controlling the situation. Wonderful skills. Jump up on the Storm Vermin, the claw and the mighty blow on the other. There's the kill piece, and of course, look at the mutations. It is gorgeous. 2 heads and a ram. What can't he fucking do with this firm? Well, win enough games is apparently his argument, but he's trying. He never quits, never fail. Well, okay, he fails occasionally there, and they're always spectacular, but then the supporters love him there. Yeah, there's a lot of them. 9 fan factor. It fucking shows. It absolutely fucking shows. Bravo, lad, bravo. You've shown what Underworld can do on a nutshell. And now, the great Cinderella story so far. They looked destroyed coming in. They were wreckage, they were ruin, and yet Lando, your handsomeness, your charming, you've convinced this team they can fucking beat anybody. Let's go and take a look at what's left of the firm, and that is a good way of putting it here. Take a look at the Gutter Runner roster. Pounded into the fucking ground. He has literally had to start from fucking scratch again with the Gutter Runners here, except he's got one, it's the Survivor. Everyone else, replacements. He's finally got the thrower back up in here, but look at the line rats, absolutely shattered. The Storm Vermin, he's had to replace those too. Like I said, it's almost like there's only like one of the original rats left, maybe 2, and that's it. Everyone else, they're all replacements from the same clan. He just keeps going to the same planet, 12 parsecs away, and just recruits more fucking rats. 7 fan factor, they're a fanatical lot, aren't they? Apothecary, 3 team rerolls. His destiny's in his hands. He's definitely done it here, and then meanwhile, lad, you're the tragic story of this division. Honestly, I will say it here with all due candor and all due polite. You are one of the most brilliant coaches I get to witness every single time. Every game of you is a treat to watch because you never fail to pick up different situations, adjust. It's absolutely a clinic here, what you can do with Necro, and I've seen you do that with other teams. That said, though, I'm sorry you're Nuffle's bitch. I don't know what you did to piss her off. I really fucking don't. If there was ever an example for seeded dice arrays being banned from this client, you're it. You're the poster child for it, because that's why you're stuck in this situation. It's not bloody fair. Well, unfortunately, life isn't fair. If it was, I'd be selling you something if I told you otherwise. Speaking of, it sounds like I am selling you something anyway. You know, how'd you like a bridge? One werewolf is dead. It's unfortunate, it happens. And, well, that's basically summed up his season, hasn't it there? Meanwhile, the Flesh Golems, again, fantastic development. Whites in this division, perfect development. They both have tackle. Great, fantastic development on the zombies. But the 3 fan factor and the 3 team rerolls, there's a rerolls, but the fan factor tells you what's going on. Nuffle's bitch. Next season, I will be cheering you from day 1, lad. Okay? Absolute hot promise. I'm definitely going to cheer you the hell away. Because you're due a season. And look what happened to Luke Quad 4 last season. And look at this season. It's a tough raid. And now the other chosen one, the Emperor himself. What happened? Oops. Yeah, he stumbled all right. Oh, he ran into a handsome man, did he? Yeah, that explains he was distracted because everyone wants to be him. Anyway, let's go and take a look what Angry Panda's Orcs can do for you. There is the pain. There's a lot of fucking pain on this team. There's a lot of pain. And look at the develop. He's going guard outright with the Black Orcs. Fuck block. He's going guard first every chance he's got. Is it working? Well, maybe, maybe not. There's a discussion about that, considering how he throws blocks like crazy. He's got the dual throwers, and of course he's actually brought in a goblin. Why? Well, someone who can just hold his ego. At least the tail end of it, anyway. Yeah, it's a long, long, big ego. It's immense, actually. Anyway, 6 fan factor, Apothecary, 3 team rerolls there. There's nothing actually spectacular about the coach. Well, he's got something. He's got a plan if he gets in the playoffs, apparently, according to him. But it's his top secret plan here. It really is. It's so top secret, none of us have ever fucking heard of it. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the actual schedule of what happened last week. See, there we go. Lando took his history into his own hands. 3-1. He got the big win he actually needed there. He's back in the fight there. Thunder Down Under, well, it's put him in a he needs to tie scenario coming up. Straight from the underworld. They just keep on surprising, and the Dallas Dead Boys, the collapse just continues. They got to the second round looking great. looking great. Sadly, that's what they looked like. They looked like the team that should have been, and I remember it. I can quote myself pretty much there. They were picked as one of the teams to dominate. That's the season it is. And meanwhile, Cemetery Gates just march strength to strength to strength there. Take down the Sisters of Leaves. And you can see behind, I correct my posture on that one there, and they've actually gone and crippled the poor ladies. Let's go and take a look at the leaderboard there. Cemetery Gates, as pointed out there, one of 3 firms that are unbeaten this season. One of 3. They've only got the 1 draw against them here. It's going to be crazy when they get in there. Now it's all down to pride. Do they finish number 1? Because they're fighting it out with the Pro Elves, and they definitely want number 1. No, I'm serious. They want number 1. Both those firms want number 1. There's no pushing and pulling about that one there. Landau, you've done a great job. Another win, you put yourself in a much better position and hopefully a much better good staging in there. The Thunder Down Under, the Chosen One. Well, he stumbled, didn't he, there? But he's comfortable. He can maybe even afford a loss. Maybe, but that's going to drop his position, and he knows it there. Meanwhile, straight from the Underworld, it's in your hands, your destiny now, lads. You must win. 100%, you must win. It's your hands, it's your business. As for the rest of you, see, here's where it gets funny. You think they're both out of it? Because of how the point system works this season, believe it or not, even though you're 0-0-4, the Amazons are still fucking in it. They have to just win, and win well, their last game, and they maybe it's going to be looking at the out-of-town scoreboards in some ways. In a lot of ways, it's out-of-town scoreboards. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule here so you get an idea of how crazy this is. Thunder Down Under. You have something to fucking prove, that you can take down the unbeatable team. Because if you can do that, now you're a threat and a promise for the silverware. If you can't do that, it basically speaks to what's going to happen to you in the playoffs. So this you need to win to prove a point there. As for Cemetery Gates, Panda's coming for you. Panda's coming for you. He's coming for you hard, so you're going to have to do something about that. Meanwhile, the Dallas Dead Boys. This is a pride game. I'll say it to you straight there, lad. That is a pride game because, believe it or not, how you do in this game will decide if the Sisters of Leaf have even a prayer of making it in with that bad record. They had a great record first round. They've been a total fucking disaster the second round. They have to win the game. Best thing you can do, get some pride back. Don't let them. Okay? This is the game to watch. This is the other real game to watch in there. Mice and Min. They need to win. They wouldn't mind a tie, but they like to not get their fucking team slot in the process. As for straight from the Underworld, a win will look pretty on your mantle, wouldn't it there? Because it shows you can deal with the high-speed agility teams, and that's going to prove something considering what the standings are starting to look like now at the end. Okay. There we are. Division's all summed up. Let's wrap this one up there, shall we? Well, there you have it. It's summed up in a nutshell. We've got a multi-way fight for the last qualifying position. And isn't that always going to be exciting there? Look, the best advice I give to you, if you want to solve all the problems of whether you're going to make it or not, win, okay? And yes, I admit, that very much simplifies things. It really does. It's like Griff Eberwaldo, he says. The secret is down round skulls. Anyway, good luck to you all in the final week. Regardless what happens, thank you so very much here for participating on the season, participating in the broadcast, and basically making this an absolute wonderful delight. I've had a blast, and I'm looking forward to how insane this last week is going to be. Nuffle, bless your dice.